Greetings, Molweni, Goeiedag. Welcome to the Stellenbosch University Metis 101 2021. The Faculty of Science would love to welcome you and congratulate you for being provisionally accepted to study a BSc program with us in 2022. You have worked so hard and smart for you to secure yourself a provisionally acceptance within the best university and also the best faculty. My name is Maambele Khosa, and I am the Recruitment and Marketing Officer in the Faculty of Science here at Stellenbosch University. Today, we want to make sure that we put your mind at ease. We answer some of the questions that you might have regarding your journey at Stellenbosch University. We want to make sure that you know that where to from now. I know you have been provisionally accepted and most definitely wondering how is it like to be at Stellenbosch University? Do they even support us? Will they even be able to hear our voice? I really want to know before I make a final decision. But worry not, because those are the questions that we are going to answer you today. If you are parents and also the prospective students, we know you are also wondering about quite a few things. But do not worry, I have my colleagues with me who are gonna answer a lot of questions and also tell you about the things that you need to prepare for the following year. I will also be joined by some of our current students who are going to share their experience with you. They are going to tell you what is it like to be a Stellenbosch University student and also to be a science faculty student. So do not worry, stay tuned as they join me. Most of you probably want to know what is it like to be a student at Stellenbosch University, in particular in the Faculty of Science. So I have all those answers for you, but you're not going to hear them from me. You are going to hear them from our current students who are going to share their experiences with you. They are here sitting with me. I have Ben, Asemahle, and Joshua. So they're going to introduce themselves, tell you who they are, what they are studying, what year of studies, also where they come from. Joshua, you can start.
Hello everybody, my name is Joshua Campbell. I'm a final year BSc Human Life Science student and I'm from Pretoria.
Hello everyone, my name is Asemahle Masumpa. I am a third year student studying BSc Chemistry in the stream of Chemical Biology and I'm from Strand.
Hi everyone, my name is Ben van Dijvenboeden. I am currently a second year student studying mathematical sciences, majoring in both computer science and genetics, and I am from Cape Town.
Interesting. You are probably sitting somewhere in Pretoria or Durban or wherever you are and wondering if Stellenbosch is the right place for you. I mean, you've heard it. We have Joshua who is from Pretoria, Asemahle from Strand, which is in the Western Cape, but still they are here. So now, can you please tell us, I've been saying Joshua so many times, but it's fine. Joshua again, please tell us, how have the journey been up to so far?
Listen, it's exactly just that. It's a journey. Like, there's no instruction manual to come to university and be like, okay, day one, you do this, you follow this trend. So, like, there's been highs, there's been lows, there's good times. I remember Varsity Cup, there's being in practicals pre-COVID still, like going to the labs every day, like, that's part of the journey, unfortunately. But I really have been enjoying it so much.
Interesting. So basically from what you are saying, there's a lot that actually makes up the entire experience of being a student at Stellenbosch University. Maybe Ben can tell us a little bit more about how can one balance the social life with the academic life? More of like, what are the must do, must see on campus, and what is it that one shouldn't miss once they come to Stellenbosch University?
That's a very interesting question. At least for me as a student, I do believe that maintaining a healthy balance between academics and sport is very important. So the way I tend to go about that is, my favorite place on campus is obviously the NILC, as I think most students would agree. And the main reason for that is when I'm in the NILC, you can do one of both things. You can either study or you can have a social interaction. So after you have a class, for instance, you can go to the NILC, plug your earphones into your computer and you can have a study session. And if you walk into a friend, you can have a chat or just a coffee. And I think that's a lot of fun, at least as a student, where you have this one environment where you can study and have social interactions.
So basically there's quite a lot, and your favorite spot is the Nelsie. Is there any other things or places that people can make sure that they familiarize themselves with?
Since Stellenbosch is such a beautiful place, I think one thing that most people should do is definitely explore not just the campus, but also just outside of campus, mainly, for instance, Kutsenberg Mountain, for instance. There's a lovely hiking trail, for instance, where you can get to know the place a bit better. And I would recommend to everyone to go on, not just Kutsenberg, but any hiking trails. There are lots of hiking trails in Stellenbosch, I think, which is a great thing for people to do together.
Thank you so much, Ben. And Asemahle, would you maybe recommend that someone should make sure that they know the library, they know Narha and other places? And why would you recommend so, if you do?
I think it's very important as a student for your academic success to be very familiar with the library and Narha.
Yes.
I think the library is just a nice spot when you want to just find a quiet environment where you can just study and focus. Different parts of the library as well. There's like an underground section where you can just study. There's computers, and especially for BSc students, there's Narha, different types. We have quite a lot, I think A, B, and there's quite a number of them. Yes. Just there for you, always available. Of course, now with COVID, it's a bit harder to get access to that, but before that, I know we had a 24-hour access to the Narha facilities for to use the computers and to just stay on top of things, because it can get really, really hectic sometimes, especially during the exam period.
Okay, you mentioned that there's Narha A, B, C, and D. Do you want to tell them a little bit what is Narha or where is Narha? What happens at Narha? Is it a coffee place? Please, just tell them a little bit.
I literally love the coffee place. Well, Narha, it's our version of like a computer lab. So there's quite a lot of them kind of spread out throughout campus, especially outside of campus, like with the BSc buildings and stuff. You'll find a lot of them in the geology building and in the natural science building, and there's 2 in the admin A building. So it has computers that we can use to do your schoolwork. If you're just not trying to be on your PC, on your little laptop, and you're just trying to get in there. I know for coding students, it has all the kind of equipment that you guys use, like Ubuntu. Software that you guys use, like Ubuntu and all of that. So yeah, Narha is like a computer lab / social tool, because after hours, we're just there relaxing, low-key social gathering too. Just trying to get by, just trying to stay on top of academic work and all of that.
It must be nice to be a student. It really must be nice.
It has its pros and its cons, I can say that.
Okay, but anyway, thank you so much for that. Joshua, again.
Yes.
Can you maybe tell us, you are studying a BSc in Human Life Sciences.
Yes.
And it is your 3rd year, you said.
Yes.
How have the faculty offered you support? Because you did mention that you come from Pretoria, which it's a little bit far from here. Yeah. So how have the faculty supported you in your journey? You've made it up to this far, 3rd year.
The faculty has actually been very helpful, Ambi, because if I think about it, especially in uncertain times now with COVID, exams are all online or in person. We don't really know, and it also depends on department. So with me having to go home sometimes, having to go see my parents, I could always just email a lecturer or a department and ask them beforehand, is it going to be online, or what is the possibilities of things changing? And they'll really reply quick, fast, so that I know I can make several arrangements. And many of my peers as well that are from Pretoria, we have the same kind of situation. So lecturers really do help, and the faculty also supports us when we need it.
Okay, that's fair enough. No wonder you've made it to your 3rd year. They are really supporting you guys. So now, would you say or advise someone to come and study at Stellenbosch based on the support that you've been receiving? And also, I want to believe that you guys did have, or you still have, tutoring sessions. Are those also helpful to you guys?
Oh yes, most definitely. I believe that if you want to be challenged academically and you want to pursue knowledge, then Stellenbosch University is the place to be, especially the science faculty. Because we used to have, we have tutorials every week, and then in these tutorial sessions, you'll have demis. So it's postgrads that are really knowledgeable in their different fields and that can really explain and take the time to sit with you and explain stuff. Well, now it's a bit online, but you still get the same interaction. And then the nice thing about being online is now you have different teams on Microsoft Teams. So you can always just message on your Microsoft Teams chat, and then the demi or the lecturer even will just quickly answer your question, and then there you go. So I definitely say Stellenbosch University and the science faculty is a good choice.
Oh, wow. Thank you so much. Because I was actually wondering, you joined Stellenbosch University prior to COVID, and you are still here during COVID. So that explains that your transitioning between those two periods was not that difficult because the faculty was supporting you. Thank you so much. Ben, would you like to, I saw how you looked at me when I say Ben. Yes, Ben, would you like to add something regarding to the support that the faculty offers to you? I mean, you are studying mathematical sciences with computer science, which I want to know, did you maybe have CAD in high school, or did you do IT prior to coming here? And then if you did, do you have other friends who maybe didn't have a background in IT but studying the same program as what you are studying? And would you say they are coping, or they actually did give you enough or good introduction to the course?
So I did have IT in high school, which fortunately for me, at least in my first year, made my life a lot easier because most students had to go through what I learned from grade 10 to matric, they had to do in one semester, which is quite hectic for the students who didn't have IT. Lucky for them, I was a class rep in the first year module. So I did get a lot of feedback from the students and things. So if there were any complaints and things, or mostly just students struggling with the new work in that module, I would usually just deliver the message to the professor. And the professor was always extraordinarily supportive. I would, like, for instance, tell him the students would like to try something else, for instance, in a class, try something like this, try something like this. And he was always keen to try and change his way of teaching in order to accommodate the students, at least what majority of the students needed. So I would say, with regard to support, the faculty and professors, all of them have always been very supportive of the students.
Wow, thank you. So maybe to add to that, would you say that at this point, you are doing your second year, right? With those people who did their first year with you, but then they didn't have a background in IT, would you say that they are coping at this moment? Because someone's probably wondering, they want to be like you. So someone's probably sitting at home and thinking, I actually want to be the future Ben. I also want to sit there and say I'm studying BSc in mathematical sciences, but I actually don't have IT. But I did apply, and got provisionally accepted to study BSc in computer science at Stellenbosch University. But I don't have IT, so I'm quite worried that what will happen with me when I join Stellenbosch University. So what would you say to that student?
If I remember correctly, at least when I applied 2-3 years ago for computer science, I think we only needed mathematics, so IT wasn't necessarily a prerequisite to apply for computer science, which is a good thing. And I would say at this point, at least where we are now in second year, second semester, I would say everyone is about in the same boat, because all the work, like in high school, we only learned up to a certain point and kept on elaborating on that. And like I said, we had to do all that in the first semester, in the first year. So when we got to so in our second year now, all the work is new to everyone. Yeah. So I wouldn't say anyone is really, if you didn't have IT or had IT, you would feel excluded as you went on in the year. Some things might come easier because you're used to it, but mostly the work is all new. So you don't necessarily need an IT or IT in high school as a prerequisite to do this, because everything's new for everyone at this point.
Wow. Okay, so you've heard that. You can also be the future Ben. Asemahle, you said you come from Strand and you are studying BSc in chemistry, majoring in chemical biology, right?
Yes.
What inspired you to actually want to study in Stellenbosch?
Stellenbosch is actually the closest university from home. Initially, I didn't consider coming to this university, weirdly enough.
Ben is shocked.
But where the school that I went to, this is the dream. This is where a lot of people like dream to come here. Like after grade 12, you want to come here after you matriculated. Even those are dreams of a lot of parents for their children. For me, I took somewhat of a gap year after I matriculated because I was still confused. I wasn't sure if what I had applied for at a different university is what I wanted to study. And in order to keep my options open, I also decided to better my marks as well. Okay. So I did come here via like reference by a friend to do a schematics course. So like a bridging course, I did that. And because it was in this university, I got used to the campus. I got used to the buildings. I became very familiar with the space. And because of that, it gave me confidence in wanting to be here. It started becoming more endearing to me, the space. And that's why I chose to come to Stellenbosch. And as far as my degree goes, I knew I wanted to do something in the sciences. I just didn't know what exactly. And it became clearer to me during that period of taking a break that I didn't want to do something maybe in medicine nor engineering, definitely science. And I was intrigued by chemistry and how it plays a part and how you can kind of combine it with biology and how that could also help change the world. So I was convinced that this is what I wanted to do. I even went and made an appointment with one of the professors, Professor Aspirations, if I'm not mistaken. Yes, and we had a talk and she just made me more confident in what I wanted to study. And now I'm here.
Wow, that was a mouthful. There's actually quite a lot that I've picked up. So here's the scenario. You are probably sitting at home and thinking, I don't want to take a gap year, but I want to go and study at Stellenbosch University. But look, Asemahle already took a gap year on your behalf as well. She did her research. She came to Stellenbosch to do the bridging course, or what we call the schematas. Yeah. Then she got an opportunity to explore the university. Do you understand? So she is not yet part of the university, but she explored the university throughout that year. And now she finally made an informed decision. I will definitely trust that person. I mean, she took the time and now she's telling you what she found in the process. So you have it. Also, another thing that I wanted to say, Asemahle, you said you initially, or at the beginning, you actually met with one of the professors from chemistry who actually gave you enough information for you to make an informed decision. So with that said, I just want to tell you that at Stellenbosch University, also in the Faculty of Science, you do have an opportunity to still consult with us, to still talk to us, to still seek more information. I know that you've already been provisionally accepted, but you can seek further information with us and we will be more than happy to help you. Thank you so much. But there's one question which I actually want to know. The question is, where to from here? Like, to the three of you, what are your future aspirations as scientists? And this is the question for everyone. So who's going to start?
Josh, you want to start?
I guess I have to start. So I am currently applying for honors in physiology, medical physiology, and pharmacology. So I have been emailing all the lecturers, finding out all the different research projects, the research groups that they have, setting up meetings with them. Because it's now the time where I have to decide, okay, I've done my undergrad, I've been through the journey, so what to from now? But I've only applied at Stellenbosch University because I already know some of the lecturers. Some of them have taught me throughout my years being at Stellenbosch University. I'm comfortable around them. So I've been emailing them. And I have still yet to hear back, but hopefully I will get through.
Wait, so did you apply for multiple honors?
Yes, so at final year, you get 3 options, so you can choose within your field.
Oh, okay.
Lovely, 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 Joshua. You said that you are still waiting to hear back from them.
Yes.
They'll definitely respond. Remember, you said that they always respond to your emails.
Yes.
So they will respond, don't worry. And all the best with that.
Thank you so much, Ami.
Yeah, really, all the best. So you mentioned that you are applying for the different fields within honors, right?
Yes.
What exactly are you more interested in?
So my majors this year is biochemistry and physiology, but I am way more interested in physiology, unfortunately. So that's why I applied for just the normal physiology would be on main campus. Then we have medical physiology and pharmacology, which is on Tygerberg campus. But I'd be happy to get into either of the 3, to be honest, because for normal physiology, for example, there's research projects that look into Alzheimer's, for example. There's regenerative medicine, there's pharmacology, like the options are endless. Like honors is where the pursuit for knowledge actually starts, because you have more freedom. You get assigned a lab, you get a PI, and then there you go. You get your research project, and then it's like art, for example. They give you the paint, they give you the canvas, and they say, you paint the picture. Like, that's literally it.
Wow, so basically we are exploring science at Stellenbosch University. If you didn't hear what Joshua said, he basically said, come and explore science with us. That's what we are doing. Okay, so who's next now? We want to know, what are your future aspirations as scientists?
For me, it's definitely to do the honors. I'm looking at because after undergrad honors, I'm looking at potentially 2 fields. Was to continue on the path of chemical biology by doing my honors here and eventually doing my master's either here or maybe even overseas. The opportunities are endless. Another option that I'm considering is pathology. But that's the nice part about doing this degree that I'm doing. It opens so many doors for you. There's so many opportunities, especially within the science space. You can literally go into anything. And another thing that I'm very, very fortunate to have by virtue of being here is that we have one of the greatest researchers in this country. So that is something to brag about and to find comfort also in, and knowing that wherever you go, you have a good team of people facilitating that process, which is empowering, really.
Wow, thank you so much. So what you said is that chemistry gives you options, or science gives you options, and the options are endless. Thank you so much, Asemahle, and we wish you all the best with finally doing your honors, your masters, and eventually your PhD.
Thank you.
So that we can call you the doctor.
That's the goal.
Okay, Ben, what do you want to share with us?
Oh, am I lost? So as I've said, I studied computer science and genetics, but I'm only in my 2nd year, so I haven't actually applied for, or can't yet actually apply for honors. So we'll see where it goes, because I am passionate about both. But the interesting thing for me is, at least what I get from everyone here, is that everyone has a desire for knowledge, but also to use that knowledge for good. And I would also say, I don't think I'm too different from that, because that's why I decided to do computer science and genetics, is to, at least for my aspirations are in the future, to do something where I can combine technology and biology to be able to help people, for instance, work in the medical field, where not as a doctor, but as someone who can create new technology to help people. So that's one of my aspirations. And later on in life, I would definitely consider becoming a lecturer, actually.
Wow. So we're going to have another awesome lecture at Stellenbosch University. We love it. We love it. Thank you so much. I hope they heard what you said, and I hope they've learned 1 or 2, but you said a mouthful. So I know they've learned a lot from you guys. And thank you for your time. We wish you all the best. But before you go, I just want to say that we explore science at Stellenbosch University. We want curious minds. As you can see, most of them, they were very curious before they came here, and they are still curious even when they are here. So that's what we are looking for. And you've been provisionally accepted. So that means you qualify to come and join us. I just want one of you guys who can volunteer to give just a few words of advice just a few words of advice to
Both
someone,
look at Joshua immediately.
to someone who says, I've applied and I got provisionally accepted and I'm just waiting. What is it that you can say to them?
Okay, you can go first.
Okay. One thing I can say, that the fact that you got provincially accepted means that you are deserving. You have what it takes within you to get in or to be in that space. Therefore, take in this moment, know that this moment is yours. And whatever happens, it doesn't define you. It's part of the journey, and accept the journey. Because it's a wonderful one. It's full of ups and downs. And that's something that we're not told. We're told after high school, after matriculation, you go into university and then you graduate and then all of these elaborate things. But they don't tell you that there's some few detours in there. And sometimes you'll struggle with yourself, understanding who you are. Because this is also a time where you're finding and only exploring yourself without the presence or facilitation of your parents. So allow yourself, give yourself grace within this journey. I trust that you guys are gonna make it in next year, and if not, there's a bridging course. And you can always join us within the honors, and we have great postgraduate programs, so that's also an option. But don't give up on yourself. Do you, and be confident always.
Thank you so much, Atlimahle. Thank you so much. Joshua, did you want to add to this?
Yes, I'd just like to add, like Aspirations said, the journey isn't like your degree might be 3 years, but nobody tells you that it could take a bit longer, and that's okay. Like myself, for example, I'm doing a 3-year course, but I'm my 4th year now, and it's fine because things happen, life happens, but as long as you push through, now I am here, final year, I'm about to graduate soon. I've overcome battles, struggles, and I can now proudly say that like one of these days or at the end of the year, I'm going to be a Stellenbosch graduate. And don't forget, there's always help. You need to find your group of people and make it work for you. And like Aspirations said, once you get that letter of acceptance, or even if you don't, for example, take that moment and run with it. And that will help you to be successful in Stellenbosch University. Thank you.
Thank you so much, guys, for your time. We really appreciate how you have shared your honest experiences. Just to tell you something, we didn't ask them to say anything or coach them. They just shared their honest experiences. And I hope that inspired you. Like I've told you, we are going to answer all of your questions and make sure that you are at ease. I am now sitting here with Professor Ingrid Revitsky, who is the Vice Dean for Teaching and Learning in the Faculty of Science. And I am also sitting here with Ms. Attica Valentin, who is the Academic and Student Affairs Coordinator in the Faculty of Science. So, me and you, myself as well, we want to hear from them, why should you come and study science at Stellenbosch University? There's quite a lot more of other institutions, but I would like to ask Prof, why should their students actually consider coming to study science with us?
I think we offer a flexible and agile undergraduate curriculum that helps to prepare our students to be scientists for the 21st century, and I'll explain that a little bit more in detail just now. Okay. Our students also have the opportunity to work with researchers that are leading the developments with regards to major global questions around climate, water, data security, the risk of diseases, and so much more. And what's always foremost in our students' mind is where we're going to work one day. Mm-hmm. And our advisory board has recently confirmed that our graduates are really sought after in the industry, and we have representation from a number of key industries related to science. So what are these skills, or what does a scientist in the 21st century really need? So they need to be able to balance the idea of building knowledge or seeking knowledge together with innovation or responding to changing circumstances out there. So our curriculum is designed in that way so that students have the opportunity to build knowledge, to seek the knowledge, but also to participate in projects which help them to be innovative and creative. And to be able to function in the world out there as a scientist in this 21st century, one can read in the literature there are 4 main skills that you really need as a scientist, and they are collaboration and teamwork. They need to be creative, imaginative, problem solvers, as well as critical thinkers. And we try to build that into our curriculum. We have, in our faculty, we have a very active teaching and learning hub, which inspires our academics to think differently, creatively also about their teaching and learning. So I think we really think really seriously about who our students are, and how best we can help them on their journey as they go forward with us.
Wow. So if you want to be a scientist who is not only a scientist with a qualification, but who entails everything that the world needs you to have after when you've graduated, you know exactly where to go. I want to know from Ms. Valentine if would you maybe say something about the graduation stats just to show them about our success rate?
So for the past 10 years, our lowest graduation rate was at 85%, and the past 5 years, our average is at 92%.
Wow.
So quite good pass rates.
Wow. Did you say the lowest was 85%?
That's correct.
That's still higher than a distinction, but that was the lowest. So clearly we are doing great, and this is where you should be. Again, I would like to know, maybe we can talk about what support does the faculty offer? What support is available in the faculty to the students and also to the parents?
I'll go first.
Yeah, sure.
Yes.
So for us, it's important that the student is supported as best as we possibly can. So we would like our students to know really who they are, to have a strong sense of self-awareness, to have a feeling of what are their strengths, but also how to manage and overcome any weaknesses that they have. And so in this regard, when one is preparing to come to university, like Stellenbosch University, one often focuses on packing up, a whole lot of physical things, your clothing, your books, who knows what you need, all the equipment you might like to bring along and the fun things. But for us, it's also important that you bring along your subject knowledge that you've gained over your 12 years at school, but also some important life skills. Now, to help you a bit along that way, the university has an onboarding program in which we concentrate on things like your study skills. So there isn't a one-size-fits-all. It's for you to develop your own study skills, maybe move on from where you have or things that you've been doing up to now. Time management's crucial at university, as well as managing stress, managing finance, managing all the various things that you need. So that's the first step. So for us, the students are first and foremost, how do we support them? But within the journey at Stellenbosch, they'll also encounter other students who will support them in various ways, not only academically. The lecturers are like key in the place. They're their first point of call. And then we'll have a coordinator of the program. We also have our coordinator for student and academic affairs sitting right here, who you can go to for absolutely any question you might have, and she somehow manages to find all the solutions for you, if not directly, but indirectly. So our students find Artica an absolute gem in that regard. And of course, I'm also there as somebody who helps to support the students as well.
Wow. So basically, Ms. Valentine, you are the must-know in the faculty, we shall say.
Yeah, sure. But I also want to add about the academic support that we offer within our modules. And we have the differentiated tutorial support. But also it is important for our students to identify when they have a problem to approach me, because we won't know unless they identify themselves with a problem that they have. And then what is also important for our newcomers is the bridging programs that we will offer next year. We are not absolutely sure about the mode yet, but definitely for computer science, for physics, for mathematics and chemistry, we will offer some bridging programs, and that will be before registration.
Okay. So there's something, Prof, that you mentioned. You mentioned something about the onboarding program, which you explained what it entails. I just want you to let the students know when will they know when to enroll in that program, or how do they actually find out how to be part of the program?
It's my understanding that all our provisionally accepted students will be invited to participate. So once they have a student number, they'll be able to access the site, and that will be in late December, early January. Our academic year will only start on the 15th of February, so there's enough time then for them to have had a holiday after finishing grade 12, and then when they start thinking about preparing for the university. And they'll have access to that program for the entire academic year.
Oh, okay, wonderful. So now you mentioned the onboarding program, and also I know there's a welcoming program. What is the difference between the two? Because for someone who's at home, I've got you. You see, I'm getting the information for you. For someone who is at home now, they are wondering, there's an onboarding program, there's also a welcoming program. What's the difference? Do I have to enroll in both? Can you please maybe enlighten us?
Yeah, so the onboarding program is for our provisionally students that have conditional admission. That is the skills, as Professor Witsky explained earlier, preparing our students for the new academic year.
Okay.
And the welcoming program, that is only after you're meeting your results are meeting admission requirements, and then you can start with a welcoming program, but that is more for social integration and to prepare the student on campus for his academic life.
Okay. So basically the welcoming program is more of like get to know Stellenbosch University, get to know the town, get to know your neighbors, get to know the people you stay with and the people you are going to be in class with. Meanwhile, the onboarding program is about you, I shall say. Is that correct?
That's correct. And it's an important tool to prepare students. So it's like that virtual suitcase that we mentioned earlier, with a lot of resources, and you will. Some people explain it as a information overload. So some of the information in the onboarding program is something that you will not immediately need, but it's resources that will be available there for you at all times.
Oh, perfect.
So it's quite important to work through the onboarding program material.
Perfect. So you said something about the virtual suitcase, and now I am wondering that there's probably parents who are watching us now and thinking, how can I actually best support my daughter, my son, or other guardians who are thinking, how can we possibly support them in this journey once they get to Stellenbosch University? Prof, do you have anything to say about that maybe?
I think our parents still will, and their guardians will also play an important role in supporting, in checking in on the students to see how they're doing, just to provide that sort of connection with home, that one doesn't lose contact. But it's important to remember that the students themselves are our clients, and so we interact more with them, directly with them. We are not able to share any information about any student's health and well-being or their academic progress with the parent unless we have written consent from the student. So that's very, very important. So although parents are able to contact us, we will only share information once we have also spoken with the student. We're happy to meet with students together with their parents or guardians, but never with parents alone.
Okay. Thank you so much for that.
That's very important. And sometimes people get frustrated because we can't give information, but they should keep in mind that the student is our client, and we can only share information with the student and when the student is giving consent to his parent, or even copied in the correspondence with us.
Wow. Thank you so much. I am sure that now parents are a bit at ease knowing that their learners or their kids, they are going to be in safe hands. So maybe now, actually, Ms. Valentine, can you please tell us about the facilities, or not only facilities, but other ways in which the faculty support students?
So the academic support I already explained. It's the differentiated tutorial support that we offer. And then we have the bridging programs that we intend in hybrid form before the start of registration next year. But it's important for a student to identify when he's experiencing problems or difficulties to contact me or the lecturer or his module coordinator or even the peers in his class and identify his problems.
Thank you so much. You said something about the bridging course, and now I am thinking, I know that the Faculty of Science offers the extended degree program. Is that the same thing, or they are actually different? Can you please tell us a little bit more about the EDP?
So the extended degree program is only offered for it becomes available for our conditional admitted students that is not meeting our requirements to register.
Okay.
So then they can submit a request. I will provide the details for the extended degree programs, and there's certain criteria. It is on the martis.com site.
Okay.
For that particular program. Now the program has a special curriculum in year 1 and it's extending the studies. So our normal BSc program is 3 years and the extended degree program is 4 years. So the first year there's a special curriculum, and then once they pass that first year they go into a mainstream program.
Okay. But
it's completely different. The bridging programs are a 5-day or 10-day program specifically in a module. Where the extended degree program, it's a course, a program that you can qualify with at the end of 4 years or after 4 years.
Thank you so much. But even if you do the EDP, you still get to qualify or to graduate with the normal degree.
That's correct.
Oh, wow. Thank you so much. So maybe another thing would be, you are probably sitting at home now and thinking, what textbooks do I need? What kind of a PC do I need? And when will I actually get to know which books I need to buy? Can you please help my friends who are at home now and actually they want to know which books or which textbooks they need to buy for?
Very popular question. Very popular. So that is exactly what our onboarding program is. It's taking them through the major things that they require. And in the onboarding program, there's certain things that are compulsory that they have to work through. And if they work through that, they will find a complete list of textbooks that they require. But it is more important that they first meet on the first day of class with the lecturer and the module coordinator to exactly find out what they need, and not only buy textbooks because we gave a long list of books. Sometimes it's only 1 chapter or 2 chapters that they require in a book, but only the module coordinator and the lecturer will tell them that. So yes, we do have a list of textbooks, but it's important to wait for instructions from your lecturer. And then also we provide the specifications from the computer that they require and the software that computer science students need in that particular booklet on the onboarding program.
Wow, thank you so much. So basically what you have to note down now, take a pen, write it down. You need to stay tuned to receiving that email or an SMS that will tell you about the onboarding program. Because once you enroll yourself on that, you are not going to miss out on anything. So make sure you do. Prof, actually, there's, I should say that a popular question as well about the language of tuition within our faculty. Can you tell us something about that, please?
Sure. All right. So each year we formulate a language implementation plan, which gives in detail the offering for each module. But as an overview, we use English and Afrikaans as our language of instruction, and that is then within the lectures that we have. So depending on the size of the class, it might be that we have different lecture groups, so some in English and some in Afrikaans. But if the classes are smaller, there might be interpreting that allows for that. So we decide that based on the staff that is available as well. But then when you have tutorials and practicals, you have more of a multilingual environment where you will interact with other students who won't necessarily have the same mother tongue as you do. We also make use of some technology through a project called Mobilex at the university, where scientific terminology is explained in different languages. So for us at the moment, we will use English, Afrikaans, and isiXhosa. And we have it, I think, for biochemistry and maths. I'm not sure which ones, but it's an expanding program. So, But if you want to read about the language implementation plan of the faculty, please refer to the website.
Wow, thank you so much. Thank you. There's something that I actually wanted to follow up. You said when during their tutorial sessions, they can actually get to have different tutors who are multilingual and all that. Are these tutorial sessions something that they have to pay for, or are they free?
Well, they've paid for them already through the fees. The fees that you pay for the course, that's all that you need to pay. So we strongly encourage our students to make use of the experts that you have on campus, those that understand what the offering is about, the extent, the depth in which we go, rather than to make use of a multitude of private tutoring companies that exist within the Western Cape or beyond, or even across the world, because they don't fully understand what it is that our focus is on at the university. So everything that you need for the course is provided. We have the tutors are trained, the lecturers interact with them, you have everything that you need. So you'll be enticed by other places that will say, oh yes, your test's coming up, here's a quick workshop. I will admit that our first year lecturers also offer workshops for our students, free of charge. You don't have to pay. And they will also go through questions that you can expect in the exams or in the assessment. So don't be caught out by thinking you need to pay more for private tutoring. That is not our philosophy. Yeah.
Well, thank you so much, Prof. Tutorial sessions are free in the Faculty of Science. All you need to do is to make sure that you nail your final exams and come and register with us, because we are waiting for you. Anyway, maybe the next question from here, they are probably waiting at home once again and wondering what to expect from here, where to from here. They want to know. Maybe Ms. Valentine, you can enlighten them as to where to from here.
Yes, I always explain it as a new road for them. So I will use this road to explain to them. So now they received a conditional offer from us, and they have until the 15th of October to accept this offer. So they must please remember to accept the offer. It's an email that they will receive, and they have to click accept on it. So then they will get conditional admission. And then obviously the focus is on their school examination, so they have to pass the school examination. And once that is done, round about mid-December, we spoke about the onboarding program. So this is the academic onboarding program that is starting mid-December.
Okay.
Getting them all of the skills, and it's important that they work through that. There are certain things, they will get the link, it's on the martis.com site, but they will get an email and say that onboarding is now available for them. Okay. So they have to work through it, and it's not something that they can do in 1 day or 2 days. So there's a multitude of information, and they have to work through some of the compulsory stuff. So that's the virtual suitcase that they're busy packing. So that's mid-December. And then their results will be out round about 21st of January. That's the information that we got. So the final school results will be available. And thereafter, obviously, there will be a checkpoint, and either they will get a final offer from us, which they have to accept within 3 days. Okay. So they only have 3 days once they got this offer to accept it. That's very important.
Okay.
And then if they did not meet any of our requirements, then we have an alternative. So our selection committee is meeting on a daily basis after results are available. And they can submit a request to us at the link that is provided. And that is either when they did not meet the requirements and they want to apply for an extended degree program, or they're not interested in the program that we gave them conditional admission for and they want to change that program, or they have been waitlisted and now they qualify and we have to reconsider them, or they did not meet our requirements and now they're meeting it and want us to reconsider. So our selection committee is meeting on a daily basis to look at those requests. So it's important that they submit it. The link is available on the Science website as well as on the martis.com site and the application portal. Then we get to the welcoming program, and that is starting on the 2nd of February and it's continuing until 11th of February. So there's a number of social programs and stuff, but they will get the program for that also via email, and they will get a notification that the program is available on the website. Then they will start with registration, and there's e-registration that they can do on their own, or they can come in for manual registration, and that we want to have finalized that by 7th of February. So that class is actually starting on the 14th of February. And now you will see that road has no end, because that's the start of your journey.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. You did say that the road does not have an end, because we want to explore science with you. And when we explore science, there's no day or no specific time when we're going to sit down and say we are done now, because we can never do that, or science can never be complete. Anyway, you are also probably worried that there are so many days that Ms. Valentine mentioned. There are so many things that you probably think, maybe I need to memorize these dates, maybe I need to memorize these names or this side. But you don't have to worry about anything. What you need to do is to make sure that you make use of your mailbox. You are not always on your phone, obviously, because you have to study, but at least keep checking your emails, keep checking your SMSs. If you perhaps use your parents' email address or phone numbers, make sure that you do ask them to check those emails for you, because you can never miss anything. We will make sure that we send you the information and you receive it on time. From me, thank you so much for staying tuned. I just want to ask Prof and Ms. Valentine if you maybe have anything to add before we end this session.
Nothing else for me, just looking forward to seeing them in 2022.
We look forward to embarking on the journey with you.
Thank you so much. We wish you all the best. We hope you are studying smart and hard to make sure that you do join us next year. Thank you so much for your time, and I hope that the parents and also our prospective scientists, they are excited and well informed after this session. I really appreciate it. Thank you so much.
Hello everyone. I trust that you have found this session informative and that your questions have been addressed. Embarking on your tertiary education journey will be an important milestone in your life, and we are looking forward to starting this journey with you. At a recent National Skills Development Conference, the Minister of Higher Education, Science and Innovation, Minister Blyden Nzimande, emphasized the importance of developing skills in innovation and digitalization in order to address the future challenges brought about by the Fourth Industrial Revolution, climate change and other developments. Therefore, the Minister said, universities will have to introduce programs and modules in entrepreneurship and interdisciplinary fields such as nanotechnology, biotechnology, genomics, data science and artificial intelligence. Well, I'm pleased to confirm that these multidisciplinary programs are already offered by the Faculty of Science at Stellenbosch University. And when you enroll with us next year, we will aim to equip you with the knowledge and skills that will enable you to address future challenges and opportunities. All that remains for me is to wish you all the best for the upcoming final matric exams. Work hard and do your best. We are looking forward to welcoming you as a future Science Matis student in 2022.
If you have any question at all, you can contact Ms. Atika Valentine at the email address that's shown on your screen or the phone number that's shown on the screen. We cannot wait to have you. All the best with your final exams. Thank you. Enkosi. Baya Danki.